really got not much new. Just kind of wrapping up spring. We got one more practice tomorrow. Been a grind of a week. Really been a grind since really Thursday. Going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a day off on Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with our last practice tomorrow. Again, they're lighter practices. We're getting a lot of one-on-one individual work, and we got to put the ball down a little bit and get some situational team settings in today, which was good to see. But we're moving forward. We got one practice tomorrow. We got exit meetings with all of our players, and then they'll be wrapping up finals. Really, probably some can get out of here Friday. Just based off of where things are. Saying some unfortunately will have to stay if they have in-person classes and all that stuff. So they're going to wrap up their academics and exit meetings over the next week to 2 weeks, and then they'll have a good little vacation. Good little off time. This is their vacation to kind of get away and go home and see family, and we'll get them back up here on Memorial Day because we'll start classes on June 1st and summer workouts. So kind of looking forward to that transition, and I think these kids are too, because it's been a long off season. Like I said earlier, it was the longest off season workout, strength and conditioning we've ever had. And then with the stretch of really a 2 week pause in our spring practices, it's been a long spring, but a lot of quality work that we've gotten out of there. Great evaluations, and let's finish this thing strong tomorrow and have some momentum going into the off season and into the summer workouts. So. Today we got Coach Gamble, and Sione and Kenny. So we got linebackers going today. So you guys will enjoy those conversations. So, question?
Yeah, you got the month off coming up after practice, about a month, I guess. How big is that, considering that they have had this long, extended off season? I mean, we're damn near May and still doing spring practices. How important is that for recovery?
It's huge for recovery. I know. When you go through a spring football or a season in general, it's a wear and tear on your bodies. It is. So like these kids are, I think, pretty excited to have a month off. If you think about it, they'll be ending around May 1st and be coming back May 31st on Memorial Day for a team meeting because we start June 1st. So that's going to be big for anybody. It'll be good to go home and see family and catch up with them and to challenge them to keep working out and keep putting on the gains that they've been doing. If you look, we've had these conversations in here about how much bigger we are from a nutritional standpoint, and that's always my concern when you let a team go home for a break. But you need to. You could have guys lose weight, and you have guys put on a lot of weight. So we've got to keep them monitored over the break and make sure that they're doing the right things. But it is a break needed by everybody. So. I think we're all fired up to get this last practice over and finish up strong academically and go home and see family and kind of clean up some loose ends before we start this thing back up June 1st.
We got the linebackers today, like you mentioned. I don't think I've gotten to talk to Sione Tupou, but I've been seeing him a lot out there in the spring, at least early on, before the little break earlier. How integral to this linebacking room is he, and how much do you think he'll really be a part of the rotation?
Yeah, he's going to be deep in the rotation. Sione, again, is year 2, so he's very familiar with the calls and everything. He kind of came in during the summertime in the COVID period last year, and then kind of had to work through some things throughout the course of the season. And now he's here, and he's had a solid off season, and he's put together a lot of great practices. But he's a very physical force in the box, and that's something that we need him to keep continuing. And he's played a lot of football. He's from Allen High School. He was at UTEP, played a lot of football there, and then he's played a lot for us already. So his experience is going to be needed because we do have some younger guys in that room that I think are going to be very good players, but they're very young players, and we need that leadership from Sione moving forward.
Do you see him more inside or outside? I think he's more inside, right?
He's inside, yeah, because he's a guy that he can hit the gaps. He's going to bring a pretty physical force, especially when you get teams that are gap teams and they're pulling a lot of guards and centers and tackles, and he can set the edge. You do gap schemes to try to block down and kick out and move people if you feel like you're big. If Sione, he brings a pretty good physical presence to stop that and kind of stalemate the play. So looking forward to him having a big year, because he's already kind of like with this COVID year and stuff. They've been here forever. I think he's excited to get into this season as well.
And go ahead.
What was the process of bringing in Coach Campbell and to coach the linebackers, coming all the way over from Louisiana Tech?
Yeah, Coach Gamble, his dad's a legendary high school coach. His brother's a head high school coach here in the state of Texas. And he was defense coordinator at Incarnate Word for 10 years. His wife's from New Braunfels. It was a easy fit for us. We wanted to bring in a guy with some experience, a guy that's called in. Anybody that's ever called plays, they've been under the microscope. You've got to work through things, you got to understand stuff, and he's got a lot of experience to the game, and he's got a lot of experience in recruiting Texas high school. And it was a no-brainer for us, and just to show that we can get a guy like Coach Gamble to leave a pretty good group of 5 school to come to us is showing that we're doing things the right way here, and Coach Gamble's going to be a great addition for us.
You got some young guys in the linebackers. Who are some of the guys that have stood out? Some of your younger guys. Obviously,
yeah,
Kenny
the
Hill.
Manuel twins, Josh and John, they're doing a great job. Both of them had a pretty good spring. Kenny Haynes is probably the one that I've been pretty impressed with, and you're going to see him in the rotation a lot. And you'll get an opportunity to talk to Kenny today. He's just, we got him as a running back out of Edna High School, and transformed him into a linebacker. He's a great looking kid. And he loves the game, and he plays with a physical edge. So Kenny's been stepping up for us. I'm interested to see him get in front of the mic today for you guys, because it'll be his first time as well. But Isaiah Nixon's another one, and DeMarquise Hayes in that kind of rush linebacker spot. They've been showing up as well. They're all relatively young. They all got 4 years to play with experience, and I think that they're going to be. It's going to be good to see them with the addition just in the rotation of linebacker, but also in special teams play.
We talked a little bit yesterday about receivers and how recruiting still looking for maybe 3 or 4. You said, what's the situation with linebackers? Kind of the same deal.
Same deal. We're working through that. Typically, a lot of those numbers kind of move around, but I'm looking to see about 2 more linebackers come in, 1 to 2 more. Based off of the DB situation and the line situation, and it's just going to be where the best one's needed. But you'll see another body to 2 bodies come in at that position.
When we were talking about the spring game, seeing how the defense was kind of limited, a lot of your young players were able to step up, especially in that linebacker core. Did you see any improvement from the spring game, or did you see anything that needed to be worked on?
Yeah, everybody's got to improve. There was a lot of young bodies being played out there that played a lot of snaps, and I just like seeing Kenny and Josh and Isaiah and DeMarquise running around. There was I don't know if you remember the play to Tweeter to Chandler. That was a long slant route across the middle. Well, DeMarquise chased it down. They're playing with great effort, and they've got a lot of potential. So, and we just got to keep playing snaps. That's what we got to do with those, because they're young guys. And you sit there and you evaluate the spring game, and everybody's going to be upset offensively and defense based off of performance, but a lot has to do with depth and trying to get people in the game and make it work and match. But I saw physical hits out there. I saw collisions. I saw people playing with physicality and effort, and that's the stuff that I'm pleased with, and that's the stuff that we need to keep doing moving forward.
With just 1 day left, obviously you guys are not tackling like you said last Saturday, kind of taking it easy. What's the goal for tomorrow, for the last day before you send them off? What do you want to stick with them?
We still got to get some scenarios in and some situations just to make sure that we get it on tape, that we can coach it moving forward when we get into the summertime. And like I've said here, we've got a lot more bodies coming in the summer. So we've got to get installations in, we got to get discussions and tape so we can do the proper teaching over the summer. So that's what we got to get accomplished tomorrow. Today I was trying to call all the stuff that I don't have much tape on. So we ran the cut-ups of just every single play that we have, just talking about from an offensive perspective. And you start looking through the cut-ups, and you're like, we need to get more looks at these type of plays. So I end up calling them a lot more in these next settings. We got to get some kind of short yardage looks as well. And I think that will end spring on a pretty good high note, because we've got a lot of reps. We got a lot of quality reps at tackling before we took the break. And then we come in and generalization of what we're going to do moving forward. So it's mainly stay healthy, get some good quality tape out of it. We've been cutting down individual a little bit now just to get some more quality tape in these cut-ups so we can teach over the summer.
What's the one thing you really accomplished this spring, Coach? That you, if you look back at spring, we got this done.
I think that you got new coaches, you got some new players, and I think we all are getting on the same page from an offense and defensive staff, and as you know, just as unit-wise, offensively and defensively. And that's the only thing I really care about in the spring. Spring's about individual work and one-on-one technique, and making sure that our installs are in and we get some quality tape. You know, I said at the beginning of spring that there's a lot of opportunity for us to try new schemes. You know, Coach Gamble comes in from La Tech and has a lot of experience at Incarnate Word, so you know, let him talk and do some things that can maybe tweak some stuff. And same thing with Jim Turner. Jim Turner and I have had a lot of conversations on run game and his thoughts, and we're all just getting on the same page. So spring's about making sure that you are building the continuity and the direction moving forward. So when you get into summertime, you can hit it running with the new guys, get those installs in through June and July, so when you get to fall camp, you're ready to play some ball.